Hi all, Ashley here, one half of the ADHD Double Dose podcast. As Megan and I said on the pod, we're going to try and start posting a few updates about our daily lives and what it's like on a sort of more moment-to-moment basis living with ADHD. So I thought I'd give you an idea of my morning and trip into work, because it's pretty much the same every day. I get up at about 7. I start work I have to be in the door at 9:30, so should be plenty of time. But every morning I seem to be on track at about 7:45. Before I know it, it's 8:35, and it's like one moment at 7:45, should be 7:46, but no, it's 8:31. Don't know what happens in between, but seems to happen every morning. So I rush out the door. Often I get into the car, and then thank goodness I often realize I don't have something important for the day. So I go back into the house and get whatever that is. Sometimes I'll have to do that twice. Other times I just leave at that point and have to just deal without whatever it is I've forgotten. Anyway, the driving to work, you'd think that in the morning I'd want calm, relaxing music, but no, I tend to play some kind of trance song, on repeat. For some reason, like the constant beat and volume seems to calm me down a bit and help me concentrate for some strange reason. I almost always get annoyed by at least one or two drivers driving into work, whether it's them driving in a bus lane or something that's like deliberately annoying. And I can't help but notice this. I feel hyper aware of what every other driver around me is doing. I don't know if everyone feels like that or if that's ADHD. Anyway, I then panic and think, I'm not going to get to work on time, even though Google Maps is telling me that it's 20 minutes left in the trip and I've actually got 40. I then, and this is where I'm at now, get to work, get to the car park, and I'm actually 20 minutes early. And this happens almost every day. So every day I think I'm going to be late. Every day I get there 20 minutes early. So I sit in the car. And sitting in the car, and Megan and I have talked about this on the podcast, and in fact Megan's got another video out at the moment talking about this, so check that out too. That 20 minutes in the car is gold, because I don't know, something about being in the car, it's a confined space. There's not that much distraction if I'm like in a car park and there's not much around. So I do find myself having like good ideas or like feeling a bit calmer at that point. To be fair, the Vyvanse that I take in the morning has probably kicked in at about that point, so that helps too. I then end up back in that situation though where I think, how long is it going to take me to get from my car into work? And should only take 4 minutes, but I think at about 9:15, remember I've got to be there at 9:30, I think perhaps I better go now. Then I'll get distracted by something else, and before I know it, it's 9:27 and I'm like rushing to get in the door. So I guess this sort of encapsulates issues of time blindness, poor planning. Often I won't have prepared anything the night before, like in terms of getting ready, which you'd think would help. And what's even stranger is that I go through this most days. So you would think that I'd learn from the day before and put things in place to avoid the same thing happening the next day. But that doesn't seem to happen. It just becomes a routine of like exactly the same feelings, thoughts, circumstances, which I've got used to, so it doesn't sort of bother me too much anymore, but can be distressing sometimes, and mainly you'd just think I would have learnt better ways by now. So that's something for me and possibly everyone else with ADHD out there to work on. But listen to the pod if you want to hear us talking about this kind of stuff more. Bye.